Hey guys, it's Clint Paschall with the Waters Church, and we are doing the Bible together, and we are in Acts 24. Whew, there's some serious brown nosing that takes place in Acts 24. So Paul has now been escorted to Caesarea, which is north of Jerusalem. The high priest, Ananias, has brought a lawyer with him, and they are now meeting with the governor. His name is Felix, and the lawyer lays it on thick. The lawyer is like, "Oh, great and mighty Felix, you are the most wonderful of all leaders. You've always caused peace to be in the region. Now please pay attention to us, oh great and mighty, and we want to bring a case against Paul." And so what you're seeing here is this case after case after case of Paul giving a very calm defense of his case to the people that are listening. Sometimes he does fire back at them if they're ridiculous, like in the previous chapter. But in this chapter, you're seeing Paul have a very calm demeanor before the governor. So after the lawyer does his little song and dance, Paul steps up, and Felix will listen to him, the governor. And Paul does what he always does. He talks through his story. He shares about what Jesus did in his life. He defends his behavior as he was, when he started out in Jerusalem. If you remember the first few chapters after Paul's conversion, he moved about freely in Jerusalem and talked. This was before everything was really in an uproar. And Paul goes back to that. And he's like, man, I've been a very peaceful guy. I mean, I just want to talk to people about grace. And all of these Jewish antagonists want to come against me. So he continues to give his defense. And the governor, Felix, is interested in listening to him. He's got some ulterior motives. He's looking for a bribe from Paul, which is what they were used to at that time. But there's a specific part in Acts 24 when Paul is having these repeated conversations with the governor, Felix, about Jesus and about what it means to follow this thing called the way and all of the grace and the forgiveness. And it says that Felix got very nervous and very convicted and very scared. And then he was like, enough, I don't want to hear anymore. Paul continues to remain where he is in Felix's sort of like house imprisonment. But I mean, he was there for a while. He was there for a couple of years. But the thing that I think is important is how Paul's presentation and his defense pushed back Felix a bit. And Felix really started to think. This just shows you that despite where you are in life, where people are in life, the gospel of Jesus will hit them where they live. And if you do it in a humble way and you do it in a loving way, you're not going to repel them. You're going to cause them to actually do some thinking. You know exactly what the reaction will be or the end result. That's between them and God. But if we do our part right, he'll probably have the same reaction that Felix had to Paul, which was one of really listening and really considering and sort of like, okay, this is making me nervous. And the reason for that is not that the grace of Jesus was making him nervous, but the idea of the authority of God and where Felix fell in that authority. I think it's very cool that as Paul is going through these different opportunities to defend himself, he is not just making a case for his own innocence, but he's also continuing to preach the love and life change of Jesus to the point that people are like, gosh, I got to listen to this guy. He is really making sense. May we be the same sort of sensible, humble influencers as we are ambassadors for Christ in a world that's looking for him. They might not know what they're looking for, but they are looking for him, and we can help those people find him, which is really awesome. Acts 24, go Paul. Paul is a very, very big deal. He'll continue to be a bigger deal as we finish out Acts. But that's Acts 24. Thanks so much for doing the Bible together.